Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you see this. This is Steve with INF Probably Insights. Today we're talking about recession. Everybody's talked about for a long time, is there going to be a global recession? Well, I don't know financially. If it's going to, I wish it would hurry up and come and leave, but I'm preparing. But today, what I saw, I believe on the news, last week before last, they were talking about a friendship recession that's presently occurring. And just want to say, that's what we're talking about today. Just want to say, if you're new, welcome, and hope you enjoy it. I love your comments. You can like, unlike, whatever. I appreciate all of that. Starting to receive actually emails from people that don't particularly want to comment. I don't think that's fine too, and I appreciate all of you. If you're returning again, I appreciate you. So today, friendship recession. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about there seems to be a dearth of friendships going around. And I think it's a global thing, and it started with the pandemic, and we all got in lockdowns and this, that, and the other. Initially, I had thought when the lockdowns occurred from the pandemic that this was suitable for the INFPs because we are the most introverted of the introverts, and we're best suited to be alone, and the most independent and best suited to be alone. So this was fine to be locked down. Me having to be locked down for a couple of years and had medical issues as a result of that, even though I am an INFP, probably, and still have to stay pretty much away from a lot of people and to myself a lot. It's really not all that healthy. But what is this friendship recession? They're talking about, people have lost friends, how it's affected. The interesting thing about it to me was how it affected people. The lockdowns, the pandemic, it seems to, and it stands to reason, well, in a lot of ways. You can say what the causes are. I'm not going to get into that, but it stands to reason that it affected females more than males, because it seems that, according to this study, and there was a study, that females prefer personal contact and males preferred online contact. So males got along better than females during the pandemic. So, but both genders dropped off a lot of their friends. The friends dropped off for whatever reason, I don't know. So what do you think? Do you think that that's true? Do you think males have it better or females? Or I always like to know how large the study sample is, and I don't know how large that study sample was. And unless it's in the thousands, because we're talking about a global pandemic, or even just here in the States, millions and millions of people, if it's only in the 1,000 people, I'm not going to put too much stock into that. I doubt they took MBTI types into consideration. No doubt those who are extroverted, the ESTJs who run the world, unlike what C.S. Joseph says, that's the last time I watched him. He's talking about the INFPs run the country and the Congress, and I do not see how in the world INFPs are running most anything. But anyway, that was a slap on that. But getting back to what I was talking about, I can see most of the world, having a hard time. But do the INFPs have a hard time? Have you lost friends or acquaintances? Now I'm going to say acquaintances because I don't consider people friends unless you're very close to me. Like right now, I have no friends I don't even consider having family because they don't come around anymore. Not very often, so that's not what family does. I just call them people I know. Or like an INFJ I know refers to her family, who doesn't contact her very often, as people she shares DNA with. That's an interesting concept. The person I share DNA with sent me an email yesterday. So yeah, we're not the only ones who do that. But yes, I don't have family and I don't have friends, but I know a lot of people. But I think what has happened too, something else to think about. So I want to know about that. Have friends or acquaintances or family, for that matter, dropped off lately? And also, it seems that, and I don't like to bring people's name out. I just did with C.F. Joseph, but I don't really like to bring out people's names, the creators' names, because it's I find it kind of a little bit embarrassing. And embarrassing to hear my name too, but in whatever manner. But there are a couple of INFP creators, at least a couple, that I have seen lately, more than a couple, who have been talking about their social support networks. Whether they have good social support networks and they rely on them, or whether they need to reconnect, or whether they wish they had more. Or people like me, I count myself, so I know a handful of INFP creators, YouTube creators, who are talking about this, or talking about connections in one way or another. So it is important to us. Connectivity is important. People are social human beings, are social entities. I was going to say animals, but that's too crude. I'm going to just say entities. And we do need connections. So what are we doing to make those connections? And is that true? Is it more online? Is it more in person? Personally, I like both. I like to do a combination with each person. Maybe that's why I'm looking for friends now and I'm not finding any. I don't call me. If you've want a long conversation, just write an email. If it's something short, you can text. I'll read it. You're left on read a lot, but I'll read it and get back to you. I like the in-person, but I like the online also. I like the combination. So yes, there is a recession. Yes, it is affecting our health and mental health because people have dropped off. And we're going to blame the pandemic. We're going to blame the pandemic for the next 100 years until the next one comes up. I don't think it'll be 100 years when the next one will come up. But just something I wanted to bring up that I thought was interesting, that it was on the news about, and they called it, the title was called Friendship Recession. Wanting to know what you think as INFPs, INTP, I've got people who watch this who let me know that they are not an INFP, but they enjoy my channel. Appreciate you. You're all welcome. Just tell me from your viewpoint, is there a friendship recession? What we are doing to correct this, because it is important, and we can come out of the pandemic. They've declared it not a pandemic anymore, at least in the States. So I just want to put that out there. About friendship recession, and keep in mind to have connections of some sort. And do you agree or disagree that it's gender specific, that males like online better, do better online, and have more online connections, and females prefer more in person? Or does MBTI have anything to do with any of this? So let me know. Like, share, subscribe. You can unlike if you want to. I'm getting some unlikes. I'm getting some unsubs. That is hilarious to me. It's all good. It's all well and good. It just lets me know it was watched. Reaction of any kind is good. So anyway, until next time, stay safe.